Hey YouTube, 3D Printed Life here, and I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. This is like my fourth attempt at the video, because either the lighting wasn't too good or it felt way too drawn out. So I'm going to try to cut to the important parts. First of all, here is the 3-up upgrade. So far, I have these 4 main pieces are all new, they are bolted in. The reason being is I have redone the design so that it's much easier to assemble and disassemble, or at least take out the parts from the 2-up easily without removing the parts from the 3-up. So I have new rod clamps here, 2 pieces that clamp together on the linear rods, and sorry. And those are also on the y-axis, the gantry right here, as you can see, 2 separate pieces. Added bonus is that with these anyway, these pegs are usually one of the more fragile pieces, and if these break, it's a much smaller piece to replace, whereas before, as one did break, you have to replace this whole entire piece, which is much bigger. Much more plastic, takes much more time. Now, that was the first main improvement. The second main improvement was the inclusion of the brackets. The plastic brackets are now compatible with the metal brackets to allow for even more rigidity along the top here, like so. What this means is that you're going to get, you already have a solid bottom square from this corner piece, well, I mean, obviously going all around, but there was no solid top before because there's no corner pieces in here, because the motors have to go on these two, and I guess I could put ones on here, but I didn't. But anyway, before there was a plastic bracket on top, which was okay, but it wasn't as strong as I'd liked, so this should really help make the printer more rigid. I also did test the rigidity of these rod clamps, and I was really pleasantly surprised at how strong it was. I wasn't even able to pull the rods out. Like I had both of these pieces on the rods, and I was not able to separate them just by pulling straight, which is really good news, because it means it's going to be really ridiculously rigid. I also went ahead and wired up some LEDs into the extruder, and I'm really happy with this too. It's going to be way too bright, I think. It might even need more resistors. Right now it's running at the recommended resistance, but it was ridiculously bright, so I might have to lower that. I'll see. Other than that, most of the pieces are relatively unchanged. They are modified a bit, optimized a bit for easier printing and for a more reliable printer when you're done. Like these motor mounts have been shifted slightly more towards the corner so that the motor rests up against these extrusions, and this thing has been made a bit smaller. There's reinforcement added here. Little things like that here and there have just been added in order to increase the general reliability, general durability of the printer. So the good news is the XY is essentially done being printed. I just have to test it, which I'm waiting on longer bolts since, excuse me, the bolts now have to go through the metal bracket as well as the plastic and into the extrusion, whereas before it was just plastic to extrusion, so I need 15mm bolts, which I'm waiting on. Should come in a few days, so hopefully by Wednesday next week I will have a video of the XY working, hopefully. Oh yeah, my pulleys finally came in. Literally came in yesterday. They were at my local sort facility about 10 days ago, and it took until yesterday to get here. So, shame on them. What can you do? Other than that, I don't think any new parts, no. So yeah, I'm really just waiting on those bolts to test the XY, and I'm also waiting on my order from Misumi, which I placed a few days ago, but still isn't shipped because it takes a while to ship, for the Z-axis. So some news on that. First of all, the Z build platform is going to be made out of extrusions like this, a frame of extrusions, and then it's going to have plastic pieces which will hold the nuts for the bed leveling screws for these guys. So there will be plastic pieces that mount to those extrusions and hold the nuts, sort of like these, but with a screw for mounting or whatever. And so the good news of that is they're going to be completely adjustable. They're going to be easy to modify in the SolidWorks file. I know not everybody has SolidWorks, but I'll definitely release the source. I might even make a SketchUp file so that anybody can modify it easily. And so it'll support essentially any size bed as long as it fits within the build area size, sort of. So essentially any bed under about 10 by 10 inches should fit just fine on the thing. Or, well, 10 by 12 I should say, because the original 2-up bed will fit, the heated bed will fit. So good news for you guys, this will be definitely 2-up heated bed compatible. The 1-up, I guess it's technically could be compatible, but it's really just too small and it's not going to be worth it. I mean, if you have a printer that can print 8 by 8 inches, why would you want to restrict it to 4 by 4 inches? Even if it is just for ABS, but still. So, that's pretty much the progress. I will definitely post more videos as it progresses. Losing my mind. I sound stupid. Whatever. Yep, so the XY should be tested in a few weeks. A few days, sorry. The Z-axis should be completed, or at least tested by around May 10th. And if everything goes smoothly at that point, I expect it to take only about 5 days to do some more calibration, to do a bunch of test prints and all that stuff, before I release the files to the public, and I will start taking some pre-orders. Thing to mention about that quickly is that just keep in mind that I'm not a company, I'm a person, I'm an individual, and I developed this on my own. So I can't really guarantee anything. I can't have like a super warranty. I can ship a few parts if need be, like after I ship the main thing. If obviously if parts break during shipping, I will try to cover those as much as possible. But like there's no guarantee, just keep in mind with that. So if you really want like a secure warranty, I would suggest just buying a standard 3D printer from a company. But if you don't mind, maybe having to do a small amount of tinkering on your own, not much. I can almost guarantee you it's going to be much less than the 2-up, which is kind of sad, but whatever. And so it should be good. Prices I expect to start at about $300, which is a lot, but I really can't do it for any less. Even at that point, I'm only making about $50 to $60 per machine, which is not a very big margin in case I do have to ship replacements, and that can easily be eaten up by who knows what. So I'm really not doing this for much of a profit. I'm really just doing it for the benefit of the community. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. But that's pretty much it for this video. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe down below for more updates and up-to-date information about my project, and I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.